Dan, can I talk to you for a minute?
The Connors premieres tomorrow, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. Investigators are now on the scene at the Saudi consulate in Turkey, where a U.S. resident and Washington Post columnist walked in and never came out. Those investigators finally allowed in. Turkey says the Saudis killed him. President Trump now suggesting rogue killers may be to blame. Our foreign correspondent on the scene tonight. Here at home, the president and first lady witnessing the devastation in Florida. And tonight, authorities are searching for those they still have not heard from. And the family trapped, the help sign, seen by a relative who was searching through satellite images on her own. The confrontation in this apartment building making national headlines tonight. The white woman blocking a black tenant from entering his own apartment, demanding he prove he lives there. Tonight, the video and what she can be heard saying. The new demands tonight that this man resign from his job as Idaho Fish and Game Commissioner after proudly sharing photos killing an entire family of baboons. Tonight, the flu, deadly already, a child dying, and Dr. Jen Ashton standing by to answer your questions. When is the best time to get the flu shot? And will this year's shot be any better? And the royal reveal tonight, Harry and Meghan arriving in Australia, but it's the other arrival on the way. Making news tonight.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. And we begin tonight with fast-moving developments in the disappearance of that U.S. resident and Washington Post writer, Jamal Khashoggi. He walked into that Saudi consulate and never came out, and Turkish authorities say he was killed inside. You'll remember this surveillance. That's Khashoggi going into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, his fiancée waiting outside. Tonight, the major development. There you see the first Saudi investigators entering that door. Our team on the scene, as later a forensics team from the Turkish police, enter as well. But this is now 13 days since his disappearance. And tonight, President Trump says he has now talked to the Saudi king, that he denies any knowledge. And the president now saying this could be rogue killers. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell leading us off from the scene tonight.
A team of Saudi investigators sweeping into their consulate, even as the Saudis face accusations that the missing Washington Post columnist was tortured and murdered inside. Then, Turkish plainclothes police suddenly move in, sealing the area off.
Well, completely chaotic scenes here in Istanbul outside the Saudi consulate. This is the moment we've been waiting for as Turkish prosecutors and investigators finally turn up to find out what happened 13 days after Jamal Khashoggi disappeared.
ABC News being told the Saudis tried to block the Turkish forensics team, but eventually they were let in. The Turks have said the Saudis murdered Jamal Khashoggi. Turkish sources repeatedly claim they have tapes proving he was interrogated, tortured and then murdered. The Saudis repeated their denial again on the phone today with President Trump.
The king firmly denied any knowledge of it. He didn't really know. Maybe, I don't want to get into his mind, but it sounded to me like maybe these could have been rogue killers. Who knows?
This is Khashoggi entering the consulate to get paperwork for his marriage nearly 2 weeks ago. It's the last time anyone's seen the US-based writer, who's a vocal critic of the Saudi royal family. Flight records obtained by ABC News show 2 private planes from Riyadh arrived and departed that day, staying for 1.5 and 19 hours respectively. The Turks allege it was a 15-man Saudi hit squad, but pro-Saudi media claims they were, quote, simply tourists. This has become a major diplomatic incident. Overnight, the president explaining why he's hesitant to impose sanctions on Saudi Arabia.
I tell you what I don't want to do. Boeing, Lockheed, Raytheon, all these, I don't want to hurt jobs. I don't want to lose an order like that.
Today, President Trump sending his Secretary of State to meet face-to-face with the Saudis.
We're going to try getting to the bottom of it very soon.
And late today, President Trump reacting to a CNN report that the Saudis will soon admit Khashoggi's death was the result of an interrogation that went wrong.
I heard that report, but nobody knows if it's an official report.
And so let's get right to Ian Pannell on the scene in Istanbul. And Ian, the Saudis have suggested the people who arrived on those private planes were simply tourists. But you reported there that the flight records show that those planes were on the ground, one for 19 hours, the other for just an hour and a half. How likely is it that these were rogue killers?
Yeah, David, I mean, it's highly unlikely that road killers could get into a highly secure compound like that. We spent the last 2 days outside the Saudi consulate. I can tell you, no one's getting in or out without the Saudi say-so. Did Saudis allow road killers inside there? I don't think that's what they're really saying. Are they under pressure for answers now? Absolutely. David?
Ian Pennell leading us off tonight from Turkey. Ian, thank you. Back here at home tonight, President Trump and the First Lady seeing firsthand the devastation in Florida. And tonight, 5 days since this hurricane now, there are still people authorities say they have not heard from. The president handing out water and touring some of the damage today. And look at the before and after tonight. This is Panama City, the power before, and this image from after. Thousands without power still tonight. And this evening, the story behind this help sign. It turns out a family member searching satellite images on her own, finding it, and then getting help to her family trapped. Meteorologist Rob Marciano from Panama City, Florida tonight. Rob?
David, we're almost a week into this disaster, so the time was right for the president to pay a visit. And what he saw was a scope of destruction that requires a massive response.
President. Tonight, President Trump and the First Lady getting their first look at the destruction from Hurricane Michael in Lynn Haven, Florida.
Hard to believe. I've seen pictures, but it's hard to believe when you're above it in a plane and to see the total devastation. You see no houses left there. Not even the pads are left. It's incredible.
Meanwhile, on the hard-hit ground zero of Mexico Beach, first responders searching all weekend for more than 40 people still unaccounted for. Officials telling us tonight there's still a few people they have yet to hear from. One woman, desperate to reach her family, was looking at NOAA's satellite photos of the storm zone when she discovered the word help written in giant letters on the ground outside her grandmother's home. Directing first responders there, her family is now safe tonight.
What is most striking about this hurricane damage is not just the thousands of homes that are damaged, but these retail storefronts that are completely blown out, hundreds of commercial spaces damaged or completely destroyed.
As Hurricane Michael made landfall, our Ginger Z was broadcasting live from Mexico Beach.
And David, no matter where you are in the storm, I just saw something I have never seen. I saw an entire home taken off of its foundation and rolled down the street.
And we're just now seeing this video shot during the hurricane. You see the condo building where Ginger was as Michael bore down. Those hurricane-proof windows, not one shattering. The building still standing thanks to its concrete and rebar construction. And tonight, one of the few homes still intact. This house had just been built to withstand 250-mile-per-hour winds. Surveillance cameras capturing the storm. They just didn't know a hurricane of this strength would hit so soon. Back in Panama City tonight.
What does it feel like? What are you feeling right now?
It could have been us, you know, and I'm just so grateful that we have the ability to do this for someone else.
We meet Stevie McGinnis and her daughter, driving here from Destin, bringing home-cooked food to those in need. And there was this moment. Firefighters using duct tape to build a makeshift flagpole on Mexico Beach.
And we stand together, and that's what that flag symbolizes.
So many first responders. Rob joins us tonight from Panama City. And Rob, just an incredible scene there now 5 days after Michael made landfall. You've been on the ground the entire time. We know that. And you pointed out their supplies are getting in, but actually getting those supplies to families remains the challenge tonight.
Absolutely right, David. We're getting a lot of supplies to distribution points, but a lot of people still having a hard time getting to those spots. But as you saw, Good Samaritans are stepping in, and that wasn't isolated. I mean, amongst this horrible situation, we are seeing humanity at its finest. As for the recovery as a whole, that's going to take years, David.
All right, Rob Marciano still on the scene for us tonight. Thank you, Rob. Next year this evening from St. Louis, a confrontation caught on video. A white woman blocking a black tenant from entering their apartment building, demanding proof that he lives there. She followed him into the elevator, and you're about to hear what she said and how he responded. Here's Lindsay Davis.
Please move, ma'am.
The video reeks of a recurring phenomenon.
I can. Do you live here?
This time in St. Louis. Diarion Tolles was returning to his apartment Friday when he was confronted.
All I'm asking is what unit?
But I don't need to tell you that information, ma'am.
If you want to come into my building.
It's not your building. You're not the owner.
Millions have watched Tolles' cell phone footage.
Ma'am, you're not security. You're not the property manager. You're not.
I live here.
Okay, and I live here too.
I don't like the fact you have your phone in my face.
Okay, I don't like the fact that you're blocking me for where I pay.
All I'm asking is what unit?
When he ultimately moves past Hillary Mueller.
No.
Excuse me.
No.
Excuse me.
Are you kidding me? Where are you going?
She gets in the elevator with him
I want to know who you're going to see.
and follows him.
You just follow me all the way to my door.
As the plane.
And you see my keys in the door.
Mueller has now been fired. Her former employer, Tribeca STL, saying the company never will stand for racism or racial profiling.
And Lindsay with us here on the set tonight. And Lindsay, you were telling us that about 30 minutes after that whole scene played out, she then called police.
She then called police. Toll says that police told him that she felt uncomfortable with him being there, even after she had seen the keys. But to Toll's credit, he says that he doesn't want people to bother Mueller. He says that he hopes that she'll be left in peace. We did reach out to her, but did not receive comment back, David.
All right, Lindsay Davis with us tonight. Lindsay, thank you. Well, tonight, 3 weeks until the crucial midterm elections, but there is a major headline that could involve a candidate for 2020. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren has already said she will give serious thought to a run in 2020. President Trump, who calls her Pocahontas, has suggested he would pay $1 million to a charity if she took a DNA test to prove her heritage. Tonight, she says it's time to pay up. Here's Mary Bruce.
His opponents say it's a racial slur, but President Trump relishes his nickname for Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas, Pocahontas, Pocahontas. I mean, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, seriously.
Trump seizing on Warren's claim that she is part Native American, even once leveling this challenge.
I will give you $1 million to your favorite charity, paid for by Trump, if you take the test and it shows you're an Indian.
Trump claims that Warren used her heritage to help her get ahead, but there is no evidence it advanced her career. Still today, the Massachusetts senator who's eyeing a 2020 White House run took up the president's challenge, releasing this video showing her receiving the results of a DNA test.
What do the facts say?
The facts suggest that you absolutely have a Native American ancestor in your pedigree.
Warren was told she had a Native American ancestor in the range of 6 to 10 generations ago. But tonight, the president is scoffing at the results.
How much? 1,000?
Do you owe her an apology?
No, I don't.
What about the money that
I owe her. She owes the country an apology. What's the percentage? 1,000?
As for that $1 million offer,
I'll only do it if I can test her personally. Okay, that will not be something I enjoy doing either.
Mary Bruce with us live tonight from Washington. And Mary, Elizabeth Warren, as I mentioned, said she'll decide after the midterms whether she's going to run for president. But today's move and the fact that she's diving in here, clear sign she's seriously considering this.
Well, David, her team says this is simply an effort to clear the air, to be transparent, but the timing of all of this leaves no one with much doubt. Though many Democrats say they wish she had waited until after the midterms to make such a public splash.
Mary Bruce, live in Washington. Mary, thank you. And next, there is a major headline tonight on the economy and the deficit. The federal government is reporting tonight that the federal deficit surged 17% to $779 billion in fiscal year 2018 that ended September 30th. That's the highest since the depth of the recession. The numbers show tax income was flat because of tax cuts, while federal spending grew by 3.2%. And one of America's most iconic stores is filing for bankruptcy. Sears Holdings announcing it will close an additional 142 Sears and Kmart stores across the U.S. The 125-year-old company, once calling itself Where America Shops, now employing 68,000 people. Sears does hope to reorganize to try to stay in business. Next here, there is a developing headline coming in at this hour involving story causing national outrage. From Idaho, a state fish and game commissioner has now submitted his resignation tonight after a firestorm over his photos. Blake Fisher emailed images like this one from a recent trip to Africa to more than 100 people. But it was another trophy photo of an entire family of baboons, including babies, that even hunters said crossed the line. Here tonight, ABC's Paula Ferris.
This photo from an African trophy hunt has sparked outrage across the country, even within the hunting community. Blake Fisher, the Idaho Fish and Game Commissioner, sent an email with these photos posing with his wife to his family and colleagues. A slain giraffe, a leopard, and this entire family of baboons propped up in poses, including a baby right there in the front. Fisher bragging, "I shot a whole family of baboons." Tonight, Fisher resigned after former commissioners and pro-hunting groups demanded he step down, pointing out Idaho's hunting manual, which says to refrain from taking graphic photographs of the kill.
To round him up in a big group hug and big smile on his face and with a little baby leaning back with his mom, I'm sorry, that's just over the top.
Fisher tells an Idaho newspaper, "I didn't do anything illegal, I didn't do anything unethical, I didn't do anything immoral."
There's a lot of things that are